Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to this daily edition of your Cricket Happening show today. And on this Cricket Happening show, well, I will be talking about first is the international match which started. As I said, after the World Cup, this was the first international fixture which was being played, and it was the first Test match at the Headingley in Leeds between England and Sri Lanka. And yesterday I told you that for me, the Sri Lankan team, young and inexperienced, it was like a litmus test, and I thought they did a wonderful job today. In even though it was a day which was hit by rain, it was it was overcast. It was a good toss to win for Sri Lanka, and at stumps on day one, with some very good bowling, especially by the young debutant bowler and all-rounder. I would say Dasun Shanaka, who made his debut. What a debut he had! I mean, to actually bowl a maiden over, which was his first in international cricket, that is first in Test matches, and then get that big wicket in the second over in the first ball of Alistair Cook. I mean, he would savor that, and to get Cook's wicket for 16 and still making him work for his runs, as he could not get to his 10,000 runs mark. Not only that, after that we saw that with the overcast conditions there, Dasun Shanaka was the one who was able to use the conditions to the maximum as he swung the ball and seamed the ball, I would say, and he really had the batsman guessing, and he bowled a wonderful spell to end up with figures of 3 for 30 at the end of the first day. 9 overs, 3 minutes, 3 for 30. So he was the one who was the center of attraction today, as England were and he picked up some big wickets. Alex Cook, Nick Compton, and Joe Root for blobs. And James Vince also made his debut, which I'll be talking about, and 171 for 5 was what England were restricted to today. So that is something which I'm going to definitely start off with. Then we move on to the IPL. In the IPL today, the 51st match was played between Gujarat Lions and Kolkata Knight Riders. And Kolkata Knight Riders found the pitch at Green Park in Kanpur not to their liking, as they struggled against the bowlers, and especially here Dwayne Smith was the hero, an unlikely hero at that, with his medium pace, with that moisture that was there in the pitch. Dwayne Smith with his medium pace really swung the ball and saw to it that he put the Kolkata Knight Riders in all sorts of trouble, as Kolkata Knight Riders 124 for 8 was served by Gujarat Lions in the 14th over, and they won by 6 wickets. And what it did is that the Gujarat Lions displaced Royal Challengers Bangalore from their second spot now, and they went into the second spot with 16 points, level with Sunrisers Hyderabad, and the Royal Challengers Bangalore were pushed down to the third spot now. So definitely a cat and mouse game going on in the Indian Premier League, but it's really getting as interesting as it can be. And the other news, we'll be looking at the West Indies cricket team which was selected as far as cricket news are concerned. Well, there's good news as far as Sunil Narine, Kieron Pollard have been brought back for the Tri-Series, but there is some very big bad news in the form of Andre Russell, Darren Sammy, the victorious T20 captain, Dwayne Bravo, and batsman Chris Gale all left out. So that is not good news at all. So we will have a look at that later. But first, we are heading towards Headingley in Leeds, and let us. I will do a brief cricket summary here of day one of the first Test match, which was played between England and Sri Lanka. As I said, it was a very good toss to win for Sri Lanka. Dasun Shanaka made his Test debut, and at the other end we saw James Vince for England making his debut. It all started with Sri Lanka winning the toss and looking at the conditions that were there, deciding to insert the host end, that is England. And and in fact, as Alistair Cook himself said, that whoever wins the toss would have definitely inserted the opposition, because it was an ideal conditions for bowling. The sky was absolutely overcast, and I thought the Sri Lankan bowlers made good use of it, Initially, we saw the pace of Shaminda Eranga, who's a very good is a very good bowler. Actually, moves the ball. He's coming back from an injury, and I thought he moved the ball very well. Nuwan Pradeep also did a good job, and Alistair Cook and Alex Hales were very watchful. So all the eyes were on Alistair Cook, whether he can get to his 36 runs to get his 10,000. But let me tell you, it was very tough because the conditions was pretty overcast, and things were going pretty not serenely, I would say. But as I said, both Alistair Cook and Alex Hales also being very watchful. So that was another good part about it. Alistair Cook, we know that he can play a waiting game, but Alex Hales also really playing in a very nice manner. As you would remember, in South Africa, he had a very bad time. He was poking and prodding, but here he was playing with confidence, in the sense he was very sure of which balls to leave outside the off stump. As this was going on, Eranga was bowling well, Pradeep was bowling well, Angelo Matthews, Chamira was showing that he has some good pace, and things were pretty quiet for England. As but the good thing was that England, very watchful and rightly so, under cloudy skies, managed to reach 49 for no loss. And from 49 for no loss, at that time Alistair Cook was not out on 60, and that was the time the debutant Dasun Shanaka was introduced. What one saw from Dasun Shanaka was that he has a good action, high arm action, and he was really the one who was really keeping the batsmen guessing, as he was beating them outside the stumps, and he was also getting the ball to move a lot in that cloudy atmosphere. And then the first over that he bowled in Test cricket was a maiden. So he bowled a maiden in the very first over in Test matches, and after that, with this first ball of his second over, when England were playing watchfully at 49 for no loss, the first wicket fell, and he provided a very big breakthrough as he forced Alistair Cook to edge into the hands of Chandimal, which a ball which was actually going away from Alistair Cook. Alistair Cook was committed to his stroke, and it was taken by Chandimal behind the stumps. So that was wicket number one. So Alistair Cook was the first to go. Caught Chandimal bowled Shanaka for 16 with 2 boundaries, and now he has to make another 20 runs in the second innings if he has to go to the 10,000 runs mark. So it was a big disappointment for all the fans there assembled at Headingley. Now we saw Nick Compton walking in, and as I said yesterday, Nick Compton is one who has to grab this opportunity with both hands. He has not been doing very well in English county cricket circuit, but still he was inducted, and all the eyes were on Compton. All the eyes was trained on Compton. At the other end, Alex Hales was, as I said, he was very watchful, but never Alex Hales was leaving an opportunity. If at all any ball was coming onto his legs, he was beautifully whipping it through the mid-wicket region for boundaries, and he was also driving. But as I said, Alex Hales was pretty sure where his off stump was, which was a big problem for him when he was playing against South Africa. But so the first wicket was taken by Dasun Shanaka, and after that we saw Nick Compton come in, and Nick Compton just played 2 deliveries from Dasun Shanaka, and the 4th delivery was a very good delivery from Dasun Shanaka. Actually, Dasun Shanaka bowled this delivery which actually held its line, and Nick Compton was on to the drive there, and it was all over. He was caught by Tirimane of the bowling of Shanaka, and Shanaka had struck for the second time as Nick Compton was out for a blob. And suddenly this England innings, which was which was decent enough at 49 for no loss, suddenly were losing wickets pretty quickly, and they were 49 for 2. So in walked in the master of this England batsman, Joe Root, and one thought now probably Joe Root is the one and Hales are the ones who are going to stem the rot here. But Joe Root came in, and what a delivery from Shanaka once again. This time it was the turn of Joe Root to go for a duck, and this was the big wicket. First he dismissed Cook and Compton in 1 over, and then he came back into his next over, and he picked up the wicket of Joe Root, and that was a big wicket. What a wicket that was of Joe Root to get him caught by Mendes of the bowling of Shanaka, and Shanaka was on an absolute roll on his Test debut. He had picked up 3 wickets, and England were absolutely put on the back foot at 51 for 3. But only thing, the one man who was staying there was Alex Hales. Now, Alex Hales now was joined in by the debutant James Vince, and what a way, what a time for James Vince to make his Test debut. But definitely he could have proved a point there. But James Vince, yeah, he definitely stroked 2 boundaries pretty quickly. But that was it. It was Shaminda Eranga coming into the attack, and with his handiwork, he picked up the wicket of James Vince for 9, and that made it 70 for 4. And England were only getting into more and more trouble as Ben Stokes, the all-rounder, now came in and joined Alex Hales. Ben Stokes, well, he came in and he was a bit shaky, but he really got into his groove and hit 3 boundaries in one single over. But that was that. Now it was the turn for Nuwan Pradeep to actually tempt Ben Stokes into another stroke, which ended in the hands of Matthews. And Ben Stokes was gone out for 12 with 3 4s, and this England innings was really getting under serious trouble with half the team into the pavilion for 83 runs. And as I said yesterday, that Sri Lanka were the underdogs, and suddenly it was seeming that Sri Lanka were looking an absolutely different unit altogether. But Alex Hales was there at the crease as he was joined in by Jonathan Bairstow. Now, after at 83 for 5, Jonathan Bairstow decided that there is no use actually pottering around, and it's better for him to play his strokes, and that's what precisely Bairstow did. He started wielding the willow and started slamming strokes, slamming boundaries. At the other end, Alex Hales was also getting into confidence, and Alex Hales also decided, probably both Alex Hales and Jonathan Bairstow decided that there is no use staying at the wicket and not doing anything, and they started taking, and especially Jonathan Bairstow started an aggressive intent right from the word go, and suddenly he started, I would say, changing the fortunes for England, and Alex Hales was also growing in confidence with his stroke making, and suddenly the things were looking much better as Alex Hales and Jonathan Bairstow took this England total to 171 for 5 when rain stopped play. So at stumps, I would say this was a good partnership. The partnership is still going on, and they have already added, just wanting to tell you, 88 unbroken partnership is going on. So that was a good recovery from England, and that was direly needed. And finally, it came in the form of Jonathan Bairstow and Alex Hales' partnership, which left Alex Hales not out on 71 at close of play with 12 boundaries. Jonathan Bairstow was not out on 54 with 6 4s and 1 6, and these both have to really take on the mantle tomorrow of really putting on a bigger partnership. They have to really do something big here, no doubt about it. As finally that was what the England score was. So they closed the day at 175, and I would say kudos to the Sri Lankans. As I said, Sri Lanka were termed as underdogs because of their young and inexperienced bunch, and what a performance. Dasun Shanaka was the man who started it all. So Dasun Shanaka definitely would remember his first day in Test cricket, as he got 3 wickets. He bowled 9 overs, 3 maidens, 30 runs and 3 wickets, and that was pretty good to see, and it's also a very encouraging sign for Shanaka and Sri Lanka. Shaminda Eranga, 10 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 34. Definitely it was a field day for the bowlers with the cloudy conditions prevailing there. 10 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 34. Nuwan Pradeep, 12 overs, 6 maidens, 1 for 26. Angelo Matthews, 6 overs, 1 maiden, none for 24. Chamira bowled 10 overs for 33. And Rangana had 6 overs, 1 maiden, none for 17. So what a day for Sri Lanka. I mean, Sri Lanka would have never thought that they could put such a display, which was really, I would say the day definitely belonged to Sri Lanka. So even though as I said, I'm still terming this as a litmus test series for Sri Lanka, but I think right from the word go, they have started standing up to the litmus test in a very very admirable manner, and that's the way to go, Sri Lanka. Keep it up. Now let's get on to the IPL in a very brief summary. I would say, as far as this match was concerned, it was between Gujarat Lions and Kolkata Knight Riders, played at the Green Park in Kanpur, and Kolkata Knight Riders were the ones who actually batted first. The toss was actually won by the Gujarat Lions, and Suresh Raina was back today as the captain, and he decided to insert the Kolkata Knight Riders to bat first. Kolkata Knight Riders, well, first and foremost, Gambhir and Uthappa got into a real sort of a muddle between the wickets when 23 runs were added for the first wicket, and it ended up in a run out for Gambhir for 8 balls with 1-4, and other than that, Robin Uthappa contributing 25 of 19 balls, and now it was the turn for Dwayne Smith with his medium pace to show his wares here, and it was a good move, I thought, by Suresh Raina to bring in Dwayne Smith, and Dwayne Smith definitely did a very good job, bowled his full quota in such an economical manner. As I said, this was Green Park in Kanpur, which definitely had something in it for the bowlers, and I thought Dwayne Smith did a wonderful job to first pick up the wicket of Manish Pandey, caught by Raina for 1. Then Piyush Chawla, one does not know what was the reason. Once again, the Kolkata Knight Riders promoted Piyush Chawla. Again, it turned out to be a flop, as Piyush Chawla really struggled with an innings of 11 of 16 balls with 1-4 before Smith hit his stumps. So he was gone. Now this was wicket number 3 for Smith, and Smith also went on to dismiss Shakib Al Hasan for 3, and that meant that Kolkata Knight Riders were reeling at 61 for 5 in the 12th over, and then it took and then Robin Uthappa contributed 25, was the first wicket, as I said, and then Yusuf Pathan, he had to do something, and he was the highest scorer today with 36 of as many balls with 3 fours and 1 6, becoming a victim of Kulkarni. Surya Kumar Yadav's contribution of 17 of 14 deliveries, 1-4, 1-6. Jason Holder playing today, and Jason Holder's contribution, he was playing in place of Andre Russell. So Andre Russell not being there in the team definitely was really seen, because we know that Andre Russell has taken a lot of wickets for KKR in this IPL. Not only that, he has also come in when the chips were down and done some very big hitting to really transform the fortunes of Kolkata Knight Riders. But today it was Jason Holder, but Jason Holder's wicket was picked up by Bravo after Jason Holder had just smacked the 6 of the bowling of Bravo. But the very next delivery, Bravo picked up his wicket, forcing Holder to hold on to Finch, and also Bravo doing that jig of his in a very friendly manner with Jason Holder. And finally, with Sunil Narine and Morkel not out on 2-1 respectively, the Kolkata Knight Riders could not really force the pace, and they ended up with a very low score of 124 for 8 of their 20 overs. P. Kumar, that is Praveen Kumar, the bowling, as far as the Praveen Kumar was concerned, 2 overs for 12 runs. Kulkarni 1 for 34, but look at that man, Dwayne Smith. He was definitely the man of the match. 4 overs, no maiden, 4 wickets for 8 runs. Splendid bowling from Dwayne Smith. I thought it was a sort of a surprise packet, and one has to really credit Suresh Raina for really bringing in and bowling Dwayne Smith. Helping Dwayne Smith bowl the full quota. 4 wickets for 8 runs in 4 overs. I thought truly deserved the man of the match. Dwayne Bravo, 4 overs, 1 for 29. Jakati, 4 overs, 1 for 22. He had that beautiful throw which he had to run out Gautam Gambhir. Jadeja, 2 overs, 1 for 17. Now Gujarat Lions, their start was not good. Both the aggressive openers, Dwayne Smith and Brendan McCullum, were packed up early. In fact, with the very first ball of the Gujarat Lions innings, it was the wicket which was taken by Rajput, actually getting Dwayne Smith caught behind by Robin Uthappa for naught, and Brendan McCullum was dismissed beautifully by a very good delivery from Sunil Narine, a sort of a floater which Brendan McCullum could not connect, and it was LBW for 6. So that made it 18 for 2. But then Suresh Raina had come, but Karthik, who normally is a very reliable player, has been very consistent in this Gujarat Lions, I would say, batting order. Today could not do something. In fact, he was bowled a Morkel for all of 8 balls and 2 fours, and suddenly one started seeing that Gujarat Lions were also going in the same vein as Kolkata Knight Riders, and it was really raising some alarm bells. But all those alarm bells were really put to a full stop when Aaron Finch and Suresh Raina were at the crease. Suresh Raina was the one who was at the crease. He was really playing in a very confident manner, and they knew that they had a job to do. And Aaron Finch also contributed 26 runs in that partnership, which actually took the score on to 97. And then Aaron Finch was run out for 26 of 23 balls with 1 4 and 2 sixes. But there was nothing to worry. Suresh Raina, cool as a cucumber, as the Gujarat Lions captain, taking them home with an unbeaten 53 of 36 deliveries, 7 fours and 1 6. Jadeja was not out on 11 of 10 balls with 1 4. Game over. Gujarat Lions winning the match in the 14th over itself by 6 wickets. A very good victory for the Gujarat Lions, which actually, as I said, put them on to level with Sunrisers Hyderabad with 16 points and pushed RCB into the 3rd spot. So as I said, it's a real cat and mouse game going on as far as the Indian Premier League is concerned, and it is getting as interesting as it can be. So that's the victory. Rajput 3 overs 1 for 35, Sunil Narine 4 overs 1 for 30, Morkel 3.3 overs no maiden 1 for 39, Jason Holder 2 overs none for 14, and Yusuf Pathan bowled 1 over for 6 runs, and Dwayne Smith of Gujarat Lions took away the man of the match award. Now, before I end this cricket show, just a cricket news. As I said, the Tri-Series is coming up, which is starting from 3rd of June between South Africa, Australia and the West Indies, to be played in the West Indies. And the West Indies, there was some very good news as far as the West Indies cricket team selection was concerned, with off-spinner Sunil Narine and all-rounder Kieron Pollard back in the mix, which was good news. But the bad news was that some major players were omitted. Andre Russell, there was no place for Andre Russell. Darren Sammy, the victorious T20 World Cup captain, Dwayne Bravo, and batsman Chris Gale. And one really fails to understand as to what's going on, and one really feels sorry for these 4 players that they have not made it. And I have to say, one hopes that things change, because especially considering that they have done so well in the T20 World Cup, and they're also doing a great job in the IPL, and they don't even find a place in the West Indies squad. One would have loved to see all these players in full color, I can only say that this West Indies team could have been looking very mercurial, and especially considering that it's going to be a tri-series which is played at home, which is going to be played against such mighty teams like Australia and South Africa. I thought West Indies should have been in full might. Anyways, let's have a look at the team. Jason Holder is the one who's going to captain the squad. Suleiman Ben, Carlos Brathwaite, yes, we all know he was the hero in the T20 World Cup. Darren Bravo, Jonathan Carter, Johnson Charles, Andre Fletcher. So probably a lot of youngsters have been given the opportunity. Shannon Gabriel, Sunil Narine, Ashley Nurse, the off-spinner, Kieron Pollard, Dinesh Ramadhan, Marlon Samuels, and Jerome Taylor. And there's no place, once again I have to say this, I feel very sorry to see that West Indies team is going like this, especially considering this is a tri-series which is played at home, and one does not know why this is happening, but really feel sorry that Andre Russell, Darren Sammy, Dwayne Bravo, and swashbuckling batsman Chris Gale does not even figure in this particular lineup. Well, I have nothing to say. I would love to see this West Indian team in full might, especially such mighty teams coming like Australia and South Africa. Well, that is for the West Indies think tank to really see and analyze things. I am nobody to talk about it. I just, talk about the news and give my opinion. As I said, as far as I'm concerned, I feel very sorry for West Indies cricket. in a nutshell, I would say. Well, dear fans and subscribers, on this note, it's about time for me to say goodbye to you all, dear friends and subscribers, on this cricket show. And tomorrow, the match which is coming up in the IPL is going to be between Delhi Daredevils, and they are taking on the Sunrisers Hyderabad, I reckon. And Delhi Daredevils are at the bottom of the table with 12 points. RCB, the other teams, RCB and the other teams are locked at 14. And now Delhi Daredevils would be the ones who would be under pressure to win the match tomorrow against Sunrisers Hyderabad. And I think we are going to have a good contest. And also, we'll have a look at the second day's play, which is coming up tomorrow between England and Sri Lanka in the first Test match. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think I've waxed eloquent enough, and it's time for me to say goodbye.